Good morning, Bomber.
No, it's good afternoon, isn't
It's
it?
not morning at all. You're
Not
right.
morning at all.
I'm checking.
But hello.
Hello. I'm checking to see if you're awake, and it seems like you are, and I'm sure all of our listeners are as well. In fact, I hope they are, because today we've got three main topics, and we might get derailed along the way as we chat about them.
Yes.
But we're going to be chatting about the skate jam that took place this
yeah.
past weekend. That was amazing. We're going to be speaking a lot about the municipality today, because there are some movements in there, some indications of exciting things, I think we could say,
different things.
Okay, different things.
But I do think it's time you got out of those pajamas.
I did about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
these are actually my normal clothes.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine.
Thanks.
Nothing to see here, folks.
Especially because it's a podcast and it's a pure audio one.
But you have a joke.
I do. I absolutely do. So there is, let's call him Frikkie.
Oh, Frikkie.
Just
yes,
because that's the
okay.
name that popped into my head first.
Okay.
And he absolutely loves tractors. He is passionate about them.
Yeah.
As we all are deep inside.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
there's a massive convention of tractors that comes to town.
Tractor convention.
Yeah, he manages to get there. Works hard for it. Tickets are expensive, but he doesn't mind.
As they would be, yeah.
Yeah, he saves up. I mean, this is prestigious stuff. He rolls in and he starts just looking, and his jaw's just dropping. He loves it. He can't help himself. He climbs up onto one and just starts pushing and pulling levers and hollering loudly, going absolutely wild until the owner of the tractor says, "Sorry, could you get off? That's not right." And he's like, "Oh, sorry. I carried away." Comes down, sees the next tractor. It's green. It's a John Deere. It's absolutely stunning. Yeah. And he goes up onto that one and again just can't help himself, goes absolutely wild until security has to be
Is he
called.
driving them around the show?
No, not even. He's just sitting on them.
Just sitting on them.
And
Okay,
just
yeah.
pushing and pulling and making an absolute ruckus. All the tractor fans are just, they're put off.
Yeah,
And nothing worse than a bunch of tractor fanatics who are just put off. So that's what they have to deal with now. And Frikkie is led out by security. And that's it. He can't believe the outrage of this, that they wouldn't support him in his
passion.
His passion, thank you.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do that. So he goes to the nearest bar and he walks in. He is disgruntled. He is furious.
Never wants to see another tractor again.
He is shaking his flip-flops and fists and fingers at this convention and is just miffed generally.
Okay.
So he walks into the bar and it's full of smoke. Yeah. Again, not what you want. Maybe it's reminding him of all the tractor fumes. So he just can't stand it. So he stands at the bar, hands on the actual bar, and takes a deep breath in, really huge, and steps out, and then
He blows up the smoke.
Blows out the smoke. It's amazing. Comes back in, does it again, and gets rid of more smoke. And he does it 3 times, and after 3 times, all of the smoke is cleared.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, no, he's talented, right? So the bar owner also thinks so, and he says, "Jeez, but that's amazing. How did you do that?" And he said, "Well, I am an ex-tractor fan."
No.
Was it worth it?
It was, semi. Yeah. Fortunately, I had nothing else to do today. So,
right. Well, you were listening in on our first bit of news for this week, and that is the meeting. There's a Knysna municipality, a council meeting. Is it happening right now?
I think it's going. They've done that thing where they've gone behind closed doors and in papers.
Yes, that's what. Yeah.
So
they
they have a meeting, a public meeting where people can attend and all people can watch or listen to online, which is what I do quite often.
Oh, good, yeah.
And then when they've got something very, very private to talk, which I kind of disagree with. Because they're councillors, they're elected officials, they shouldn't be going behind. I mean, it's not like they're going to invade Iran or something like that.
That we know of. I mean, they're maybe going to talk about it.
Yeah, you never know. Councillors, but anyway, that's where they are now.
Yeah, people talk differently when they're being recorded.
I suppose so. Yes. I suppose so.
I was hoping that you would bring out your real voice at some point.
Yes. Yes, I can answer that in 2 ways. One in my normal voice and the other in an annoying high-pitched squeal. But what happened, there was a couple of things going on at the meeting before they went on to behind closed doors. By the way, I'm wondering if the behind closed doors things the conversation was to talk about the municipal manager who's still suspended.
Yeah.
It's a long time now.
It is.
I'm getting a bit annoyed because we do remember the last guy, Dr. Vatala, who remained on suspension on full pay for 18 months.
18 months, yeah.
And then never faced the courts because he resigned.
It was moot.
So it was moot. Moot. The feeling's moot.
Rendered moot.
So I hope it's not going to happen with this guy. They must either tell us he's good or he's bad or what. But it was supposed to be, can you remember? Was it like 20 days they were supposed to investigate
I
him?
had 12 days in my head, but I could be utterly wrong on that.
It was definitely days, and it wasn't 360 odd. But we've heard nothing. I've sent a series of questions to the municipality. So hopefully in the next edition we'll have some answers.
Definitely be looking out for that.
So maybe that's what they were talking about. Is he guilty? Isn't he guilty?
What should we get for lunch?
Maybe they just wanted to have lunch. I don't know. But what they were, I'm going off topic, which is very unlike me. They were talking about the monthly and quarterly budget statement, Section 71. So
Now this is a particularly important one because Knysna has been making the headlines across business tech and across a bunch of platforms, all speaking about the dire state of the budget, but then getting kind of releases and things like that, even from the Western Cape government, provincial government, saying things are getting better, not specifically addressing the budget in those releases, but just saying as a whole, the province has stepped in.
As a whole? Is that WHOLE or just HOLE?
It's a combination.
Okay.
As the infrastructure improves, we do away with the holes.
Oh, that's good.
Right.
Yeah.
But it does seem, as just in general, that it is getting better. But then we did have these news reports saying, no, it is an absolute dire state. Business Tech did another one this past week saying that Knysna is a town on the brink of destruction, something along those lines.
Yes.
Yeah, and they've said it's like a war zone was.
That was the previous one.
That's getting ready for war or whatever it was, a legal battle. And that kind of focused in a little bit on the budget. So they've released it now. They're speaking about it. They're seeing if it gets passed right now as we record.
Yeah. Well, it sounded like listening to the council meeting. I didn't hear any discussion on the infrastructure.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they weren't there to speak about that. So what I'm picking up is that the infrastructure is improving. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we've had a good bit of rain, on occasion, so that has helped. Yeah, but the financial handling, they're talking. They're really, and one of the real voices challenging the current dispensation's handling of finances. Is our councillor, one of the Sedgefield councillors, Lavelle. He was at the meeting this morning and he had a lot to say.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, he's basically saying you've got a shiny report, but if you dig deep or a little bit deeper, it's not so good. So I asked him for a few thoughts and he said, once you look past the headlines, a very different story emerges.
Oh, boy.
Which is one that every resident of Greater Knysna, including us, should consider. The municipality currently has a year-to-date surplus of 281.7 million.
I mean, that's all right. Whenever I have a surplus of that amount, I'm feeling pretty good about myself.
Yeah. I sometimes even go shopping when I have that
really?
sort of surplus. Yeah.
Okay.
However, he says, the issue is that this surplus exists mainly on paper. I would have thought that they would have put it in the bank account. I don't know why they need printed notes. Anyway, although the municipality reports a significant accounting surplus, it lacks the cash to support it because the income hasn't been collected.
Oh, so that's why it's just on paper. It's like people owe us this much, so let's just say that it's in the bank.
Yeah, that's it.
Counting
Look, I've often done that. Things are looking tight, but we're owed a lot of money. But I suppose if people aren't paying, he's talking of a staggering, that's his word, He wasn't staggering.
Yeah,
no, he was sitting. He was sitting. 70% collection shortfall on service charges.
Whoa.
So he says the municipality claims to have this money, but in reality it does not exist. Knysna has approximately 196 million in cash, but it faces 402 million in current liabilities.
My goodness.
That's a lot of currents.
That's
should try raisins, yeah.
Wow.
That's a bit scary. Yeah. That's very scary. He reckons we need to ask questions.
Yes.
He says, in summary, the ANC, the current
coalition,
councillor, the coalition, has not ensured accurate, data-driven and consistent billing.
Okay, so just being able to show it on paper, but
has stopped patronage budgeting driven by political interests. It has not immediately arrested non-revenue or unaccounted for water, and has not been investing in infrastructure and kept it maintained.
Can I derail our story real quick?
You can.
Because it is pertinent, but just don't forget where you are. I mean, not where you're sitting. I think you'll remember where you are.
Oh, yes, I am.
But just where you are in that story.
Okay, I'm holding my thumb on the words.
Okay, you got it. Because this week I got a WhatsApp message saying that my municipal account was unpaid, and that in 2 hours I'm going to be disconnected.
Oh yes, I heard about
got that.
This.
Yeah. So and then I was like. And it was a person's name, a real person, and a proper WhatsApp account. And but I was very, very wary because I'm like, no, I'm up to date. What's this about? So he's like, we'll be there in 2 hours to come and do disconnections. And he had my correct address and obviously my correct phone number with my address.
Wow.
So that's
that's a bit scary.
A little bit, yeah. That's why I was like, let me just find out because things go wrong. I know that admin things go wrong. Let me just kind of chat. I spoke on the phone with him. The real person there. But what I did do straight away, and I'm sure she's going to be thrilled that I'm mentioning it here as well because she was very proactive in it. Is I just sent it on to Cleone and I said, hey, is this real?
Yeah.
Do you know what's kind of going on here? I am paid up. And she was very active in sending that out to the CFO.
Oh, so you were the catalyst behind that.
I think so. Or there were a few catalysts.
Yeah.
The penny just dropped there.
Yeah. Yes.
So I don't know if I was, but there had actually, and in my mind, there had been an announcement thing, a broadcast message already about scamsters on the scene.
How clever they are.
My goodness, really. Very, very clever. Now, I didn't get to see the end of it, but I got confirmation very, very quickly that, yes, this is a scam. Do not let people onto your premises. We're not going to push for immediate payments or anything like that. So just be careful out there. And then, Cleone did. I saw she plastered kind of all over the place.
And I think they were asking for a special sort of payment as well. It wasn't the standard municipal payment. It was a phone cash thing or something along those lines.
No, they do that. They didn't get to that point with me, but they obviously had the plans for it. Just put this much in for now, and then you'll be fine. We won't disconnect you, and then you can sort it out with municipality. But speaking on the phone, this was a smart sounding guy. I mean, these are smart people who are doing this.
My goodness.
This kind of social engineering to get cash. They're treating it as
how do they get your details?
Oh, I mean, with my business being listed, I've put my details kind of all over the place. But to have my phone number and address together, I think because I've got kind of a business listing over there, you do a few Google searches and you know what to do. Guys know how to find our data is out there. Our information is out there. So be wary, be careful.
Yes.
And I was really appreciative of Cleone and just being able to have ward councillors who are reachable and approachable.
And they are on the ball. And
and
reachable is that's 90% of the battle.
It is.
And we do have two very good councillors, I must say. So
there we go.
Yeah.
Okay,
we do have
back on the rail.
Okay, back on the rail then, So basically, he says the questions we've got to ask. This is Laval. He says, on revenue collection, we have to ask what concrete steps are being taken. That's Yeah, not real concrete steps, because you can't take those.
Yeah, those are
Pretty heavy.
difficult.
What concrete steps are being taken to address the 70% shortfall on service charge collection?
That's massive.
Of the 606.9 million in outstanding consumer debt, if I got mine to 606.9, that would be outstanding.
That would be outstanding.
That would be a real achievement.
Notable.
How much does management realistically expect to recover? And what is the write-off strategy for the 53.1% outstanding for more than a year?
Now,
outstanding for more than a year.
Now, we just had the big push. I wonder if this includes that big push that they did for people who have had outstanding amounts for a long time.
It could be, yeah.
And they halved it. Like, was that the plan? Has that helped in this? Would that, be what influences this massive
and
loss,
does it
frankly?
include the elephant in the room, the grey elephant?
We've
got to find out what's happened there, because they owed something like 100 and something million, wasn't
it more? It was a lot. It was a massive amount.
It becomes something different when it's over $1 million.
Yeah,
it sort of goes beyond me. Yeah. Okay, and then he says he talks about grants dependency. Operational sustainability without transfers. If grants and subsidies were removed, would the municipality be able to cover salaries and core operational expenses from own source revenue? And if not, what is the plan to achieve that sustainability? So what he's talking about, he's not talking about the grants that they give out.
Not my mate Grant.
No, your name. Don't ask Grant for money. These are grants coming in from province and national government. So what he's saying is, if we didn't get that money coming in, because those are kind of earmarked for specific projects, aren't they?
Well, surely grants. You can't just use a grant for...
Please don't call me Shirley. I have asked you. Not live on air anyway.
Sorry, I won't use your second name ever again.
Okay.
Sorry, sir. But no, surely, no, those grants would be for specific things like housing and for all of that.
Well, yes, that's what I think capital projects. I'm not sure. I don't know enough about it.
But then there would be one specifically for salaries is what I'm saying. So there would be ones earmarked for... You can't just take one from a different grant and use it for salaries.
Well, I think this is the question Lavelle's asking.
Because if it has, that's surely...
If grants and subsidies were removed, would the municipality be able to cover salaries and core operational expenses from own resource revenue? Yeah. Okay, and he talks about expenditure and reporting, accuracy of budget performance figures. The overall expenditure, he says, appears 4% under budget. How much of that underspend is the result of deferred maintenance rather than genuine savings? And has this been disclosed transparently?
So it's a bleak picture he is painting.
He is, yeah. Another question, what measurable targets has the municipality set for improving collection of rates, reducing consumer debt, and increasing capital expenditure before the financial year end? Why was the infrastructure repair and service improvement budget reduced? Oh my goodness.
It was reduced.
It's been reduced by 23.6% at the adjustments budget. And who approved that reduction?
Would that not just be because province has given more cash, so you don't have to budget for it because it's already been allocated from a different kind of place? But I mean,
who knows?
A valid question. Yes, absolutely. I wonder.
Yeah. And lastly, what accountability mechanisms are in place to ensure that financial year-end spending improvements happen without irregular, wasteful, or fruitless expenditure?
Oh boy.
So that's scary. And talking of which, so he brought all that up. Now they had to find today at this meeting, they had to agree on a new acting municipal manager.
Oh, wow.
So one of the proposals was Johnny Douglas, who's one of the directors. He's been a municipal manager in Knysna before.
Oh, okay.
In, I think, an acting and a permanent capacity.
Oh, yeah.
He's now the director of corporate services. I think either corporate or community.
Okay.
It might be community services.
One of them's.
Anyway, one of them. So he is a director.
Yeah.
So his name was put forward to be the acting municipal manager, whilst our Mr. Lulelmile Mavaloba is still on suspension. But then another party put forward, I think it was the PA, the name of another guy.
Okay.
Ngoba, Mr. Ngoba, I think his name was. And that's an outsider.
Oh.
Now, what was quite rightly mentioned at the meeting, I think it was Suzanne Campbell mentioned it. If the new guy comes in, that's another fat and hairy extra salary.
Yes.
On top of what they're paying the suspended guy.
Yeah.
And I know when they bring in people from the outside, if the people aren't resident in Knysna, which chances are he's not, you obviously have to subsidize his temporary accommodation and all that sort of thing. So,
guys,
that was voted again. So they voted the outsider in.
They did.
Subject to his qualifications. Now, he has been a municipal manager before. I did a bit of Googling on him. And he has been a municipal manager before.
Yeah.
So he probably will have the qualifications. But you're bringing a guy, a temp guy in no, man.
But I mean, I suppose there is the argument that, outside help isn't necessarily a bad thing, or an outside perspective, it isn't necessarily a bad thing. But for a temporary position, it's a bit of a hard sell.
When you're short of money.
Yeah.
It's it's like one step forward, 3 steps back. Just when I think things are really getting good, they're not.
But we
on
need
the finance side,
we need a big change, I think, is the big thing.
That's what we're talking about.
And that leads us neatly onto our next part of the story, and this is where you've been doing some more digging on a bit of I think it's going to be an interesting development. It seems to be ringing a lot of bells and bringing in a lot of big names.
It is,
and showing a lot of support, and this is ChooseCX.
Be careful how you say that.
I know, I went as slowly as I could.
ChooseCX.
There you go, well done.
Okay, so it is an interesting thing. We've long talked about keeping national politics out of local government.
Yeah.
Because
it's a good idea.
We've always known that decisions are affected by bigger factors.
Yeah.
For example, at one stage, I think the DA was in coalition with the PA.
Oh, yeah?
And then nationally, the PA pulled away from the DA. They had a bit of a fight somewhere in the upper echelons of great government, those untouchables. And so that split carried down to Knysna.
Of course, as it would, Yeah.
So basically national politics, and that meant that the DA lost its
majority.
Its majority.
Just like that.
So it does have an effect. Whether that's a positive or a negative effect, we're not going to say. But it does have an effect. So the idea of this new group, I don't know what to call them, organization,
NPO,
called ChooseCX,
but political
is that they are wanting to bring local involvement in local government rather than national politics.
So this sounds to me like the independent movement. The Kim.
Well, I don't
idea?
know. Look, okay, I think Knysna independent movement. That was they are local people. And I suppose that was their aim, was also to be local, have a local voice in the municipality, in the council. But I think this organization is looking to take over.
Okay.
As in to get the majority.
Well, if you've got a good plan, then I'm listening.
They're not a political party yet.
Oh, but they want to be.
They want to be.
Okay.
So they have basically they're calling for people to join.
Okay.
And if enough people join,
Yeah.
they will be able to get registered with the IEC, which
Yes.
is the...
Independent Electoral Commission.
That's it. Well done. Well
Yeah.
remembered. Okay. So let's see. Here we go. They are... how much they have to get a certain amount of following, and I'm just trying to
You got to
find out.
Okay. A certain amount of people saying that you can do that, and a bunch of cash as well.
Yeah, currently they are a CIPC registered NPO.
They got their SIPC,
Community organization, and they will most probably contest the election after the organization is registered with the IEC.
Yeah, they've got to get moving because the municipal elections are coming up
It's
this year.
quite soon, yeah.
Okay.
I think someone talked about them perhaps being moved into early next year, but
Oh, really?
it hasn't been announced yet.
Okay.
So when you enter, when you join, online, it'll see the thing automatically sees which ward you live in and so it basically can capture where their support is and how much support they've got, and if they can register as a political party. So I spoke to Ratia Lombard. Now you'll remember her from AfriForum.
That's it. Yeah.
So she knows a bit about it.
Okay.
She doesn't represent them.
Yeah.
She's still AfriForum.
Yes.
Which is apolitical. But she, in her personal capacity, she does support ChooseCX.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense.
Because she says she knows some. AfriForum isn't everyone's cup of tea. Some people want to join, some people don't. But so this is something she supports in her personal capacity.
Okay.
So if they get enough support, they'll contest the elections. So they had a thing.
I'm interested.
They had a launch.
Yes.
Way back, not way back, 22nd of April. So that would have been last week at Villa Castolini.
Oh, you found its name. Okay,
Villa Castolini in Knysna, Brenton-on-Sea, actually.
Wow. Okay.
22nd of April. And it was called Sustainable Local Governance and Economic Recovery.
And they had some big names come to that,
They
right?
did, yes. Yeah, they had Prince Mashele, who's the executive director of the Centre of Politics and Research, but you already knew that.
Of course.
Rob Hersov, he's quite a big name.
Yeah.
He's South African entrepreneur and investor. And then Dr. Ruben Richards, who was former mayor of Cederberg Municipality and founder of Cederberg Eerste.
Okay.
I don't know, that's like an English Afrikaans mix. But so he's basically Cederberg first. And apparently this is the first I've learned of it, but apparently him and his party turned Cederberg around.
Oh, you see, that's exciting.
It is exciting, having Cederberg was in a bad way.
Really?
Yeah,
I feel like I remember that part of the story.
Infrastructure in a very, very bad way. And they managed to turn it around. So, obviously he's left there.
Yes.
There was also another leg or arm or tentacle or whatever to earlobe to this ChooseCX.
Yeah.
And that's called CX.2050.
Yeah. They believe we'll survive till then.
Yes. So CX.2050, according to this on the ChooseCX website, is a regional foundation and think tank that supports long-term planning, governance, innovation, and leadership development in the Knysna region.
Okay, that's what I want to read.
Working with communities and business to secure a sustainable future for Greater Knysna.
Good. Yeah. See, that's what I want to read. I've actually got their website open over here, ChooseCX.co.za, and I want to see what they have, because maybe it's I haven't done enough research on Kim and on all of these places, but if they are that's kind of narrowed down focused on the community that they're in, on not the ward, the municipality that they're in, it'd be very interesting to see what exactly is that plan, and evidently they've got some plans all the way through 2050.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So there's a call to action.
Yeah.
They're launching a program of ward by ward outreach forums across Greater Knysna to map local problems and co-design solutions.
Yeah.
And there's a call for volunteers, professionals and business partners to support rapid response teams, community monitoring, and governance support. Okay.
So they do mention on the website here, and I think it'll be just one of the last things we mention over here. But they're talking about the first thing that they would tackle is water supply, restore regular refuse. It's a lot of infrastructure stuff over here. Restore clean audit discipline, reopen and maintain community halls and sports fields, rapid responses to resident complaints with tracked tickets.
Yeah.
Okay, so interesting. I think it's going to be good to keep a pulse on this. To check it out, I'll put the website in the description below.
Look, it brings to mind, to me, two questions, which I can't answer. Everyone else has to answer for them.
Yeah.
One is, wow, there's a new broom, there's a new passion.
Yeah.
This is something you should support.
Yeah.
The other one is, will it, the CX... The CX, not the CX,
not them,
the DA have often spoken about the dangers of diluting the vote.
See, that's it. That was also what I was thinking.
So that's the next question. If you get hold of CX and choose CX, and get behind them, maybe you can. There's a big majority that can happen, or it might just take votes away from other parties.
You don't want that, yeah.
And then we're going to be stuck again with a coalition government. Coalition governments don't always work.
Yeah, they agree on less.
And they agree on less.
No, it's an issue.
We had a coalition government with Kim, with DA, and with the PA. Only for 9 months.
Oh, really? And then it fell apart?
Then it was the pregnant pause. See what I did there?
You did it.
And then the PA left.
Yeah.
And then a while later, the Kim left. So even though the DA were the leading party in number of votes, they didn't get the majority. So they say, and I'm not saying it myself, they say, if we'd got them, if our vote hadn't been diluted,
it would be a different story.
We would have been able to rule and turn the place around.
Would have totally ruled, man.
We would have ruled. So those are the questions you have to ask. And I'm not telling anyone who to do what for or what to vote for or who
I'm very curious to hear what our listeners think as well, if you'd be interested in checking this out. I know I'm going to check out more. We didn't get a chance to speak about the skate jam, even though we said we were going to.
We're going to lead with the skate jam. It was cool.
It was fantastic. I liked it.
It was
a kickflip to nose. Kickflip to nose manual was great. I like that one.
Absolutely. and no pushing Mongo. Well, just once.
There were quite a few.
Were there quite a few.
But it was glorious.
But it was really good fun. Wonderful day.
But let's chat more about it next week, shall we?
Yes.
I think so.
And I just want to put something out there. Quickly.
Okay. Quick.
A permanent skate park for Sedgefield.
I'm in. Let's speak about that next week. Really.
Chances would be great if that could happen.
Because we've actually got quite a bit to talk about with that and potential things.
We do, don't we?
Yeah, community thoughts on that. That'll be really cool. But for now, that does it for us for this week. Thanks, Bomber.
My goodness, it's over already. Goodbye. Take all.